Hey friends, I'm Alana and welcome to my channel where today I'm going to watch the second Night City Wire Cyberpunk 2077 stream. I wasn't able to watch it live because I was working. Life happened, so I thought that I would watch it now. For anyone who doesn't know, I have played a full 4 hours of Cyberpunk already, and I also have sort of got a little bit of insight into some things with this game that I can share while watching through this. So if there's anything that I see that I can add more comment on that you might not just know from watching it, I will do that. I will pause and do that, but we'll see. For now, just reactions. Let's go.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up to what it takes. City of dreams, city of...
Already into it. It's already great.
Hello and welcome to
Hello,
episode
Holly.
2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into lifepath and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team.
I'm going
Then
Nomad.
We're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused to bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City.
Cool.
So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo? Which will you pick first?
Again, definitely Nomad. I played Street Kid when I played for the record. For my demo.
Well,
I played this bit, exactly. Yeah.
grew up in Haywood. The whole street was my family.
The cops, like, sometimes
help
kind of
each
like
other
you
out.
if you're a street kid
Thought
because,
nothing of it.
why some of them are concerned, like maybe you came from the same neighborhood. They have more loyalty.
Live here, die here.
That guy. They have more loyalty to, like, where you came from
Buildings, running away from badges.
than they do to
blood from a split
the
lip.
people who fund the police force, who they actually kind of hate, which is Arasaka.
Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger choosers.
This song is dope.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs?
Yeah, I did all this in my playthrough.
Overnight.
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
There was a drink there that was named after a bunch of, like, the legendary
Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills.
cyberpunks, I guess.
Oh, and first kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family. And choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know.
It looks really pretty. I didn't get to go out to any of these areas. But I'm into
You
it,
know what I always liked about nomads?
being that
No,
I'm not from Night City. My character isn't either. It's like we're learning at the same time, and I like that.
corpse got their grubby claws and everything.
Alright. Yeah, Corpo's interesting too. I mean, they're all very cool.
Have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
I have been inside that
The world's never going to find out.
apartment in my Street Kid playthrough, I believe.
You're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got
Another
you to
killer
zero
song.
Somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
I can't wait for the soundtrack. It's gonna be so good.
Wanna be top?
That's Arasaka, like I said. They're the ones who pay the police in a lot of cases.
But you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is.
Everybody's corrupt.
And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself.
Yeah, you can get in the flying cars I don't think you can drive them, but you'll be in them if you choose Corpo. I didn't get to do that, but I had a friend who played Corpo who did. I was so curious if you'd even be able to, so it was neat to find out that you can.
Philip, it is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since I've had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today, we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know. How does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if
yeah,
you
it's like the first 3 hours, I believe.
Life path, you have lived
Maybe
most
2.
of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities also later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City that we call the Badlands actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind. And now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to.
The thing I can mention,
the
Street Kid path, they haven't touched on this in anything.
And that basically
V has just been to Atlanta. Like, I've seen no reference of that in any of their gameplay. I don't know what it's going to mean.
Because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka.
I do want to see that.
Which basically gives you the ability.
But yeah, V went to Atlanta and then came back to Night City, and I don't know how that plays into anything, but it was brought up more than once.
Which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
So this isn't just about the start.
Good share.
Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah. So the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is
I keep saying that it's an RPG, not an FPS. This is an RPG.
From the start to the end, and of course, you know,
people like
keep
treating it like it's an FPS for some reason. Like, this is a nerdy as hell, very in-depth RPG. Gonna be a lot of dialogue, not that much combat.
And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you
who you can romance,
something else.
by the way. You can romance Meredith Stout.
And even within that objective, we want to give you some options.
Which
so as an example,
I'm into.
If you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation.
I played a Street Kid.
As a Street Kid, we, as an example, don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue.
Don't remember having
because as a Street Kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher-up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later, when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a Street Kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him.
I did do that.
Might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
Yeah, I got out of that mission without fighting them,
on
the Maelstrom gang, at all.
And the first is about nomads. So the nomad life
I made the
path
Corpos and the
starts in
Maelstrom gang
places
fight
called
each
the
other.
Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomad to start with?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands.
I weirdly didn't expect that. There you go, cool.
You can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the Nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon.
My neighbor's so loud.
And we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. The thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past. There's global warming. So most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle-hardened. We, of course, also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many, many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
I did not know that. That's
Philip,
cool.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the character, Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video.
Yes.
Who is this
He
man?
was like a mob boss.
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people
liked him,
like
actually.
you, the cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial.
He also had a
so Padre specifically
dialogue
works from Haywood,
option
which is where you as a street kid
when
grew
I was
up
in the car with him.
So you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers.
Where he
who's
like liked
called
me more or less
Dexter
based on what I did.
He works in a different part of the city. So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
You have to get in the car with
Thank you
Padre as
so
the street
much
kid
for
right at the
joining
very
us.
start.
Now,
Worth
on my
noting.
first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad. But for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet. Don't forget that later in this episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video.
I couldn't afford
and
the
having a
katana.
chat to Pavel,
I
our
really
senior
wanted it.
gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City.
For anyone who
But
hasn't
before
watched my
that,
previous
let's talk
video,
about music.
I
Because
did
music
get
plays a huge part in bringing Night City to life.
a sniper
Now,
rifle
in
that could shoot
future
through walls.
episodes, We're
It
going to
ruled.
talk about things like radio stations and even the original score. But today, we're going to take a look behind the scenes at how Refused to bringing Johnny Silverhand's band Samurai to life.
I wouldn't write these lyrics for myself. So it's kind of interesting.
I love the
to
colors
get
in this
into,
game.
Like the mindset of who is this character and what would they write about, or what's their agenda.
You have to write technically for
It's interesting
Keanu Reeves?
to try to like catch a language that's his, and try to catch a language that's like part of this game.
It's a cool idea having a full band, recreate an in-game band or make an in-game band. That's cool. It's neat.
There is a reason why we're here.
This is really high production value.
Piotr maybe.
Oh, didn't mean to pause it.
Who
My bad.
was a fan of the band.
He knew Refused and he knew my voice, and he said, "Oh, that's a perfect voice for Johnny."
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Bit of a punk, yeah.
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like just like this outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals, and that's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of Refused life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us. You know?
It's cool. I'm into it.
So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him. You know? So it's pretty cool.
It's a neat collaboration.
No trills. But yeah, but like wide vibrato.
And then, I mean, just sort of build,
Yeah.
slowly build sort of intensity.
We don't have a different mode than just going all in. So we really worked on these songs, trying to make them as good as possible. But then they're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here as
Yeah, this is
Samurai.
gonna be really common. I'm sure another game has done this at some point.
Silverhand, you know, so
I
it's
forget
like the
things a
voice
lot
we're
though, but this is such a...
representing
he has to be Keanu Reeves. It's so funny.
Mind fuck.
That's the most Swedish thing I've ever seen in my life. But I get a copyright strike for all this music though. It could happen.
I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when someone comes in and says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azalin. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
the shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different.
Oh, he
way
has
of
to be
singing
English
when
too.
you're screaming like that, and it's hard to sort of
Swallowing some syllables there.
adjust your accent.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
super
just try
interesting.
again.
So it's been a bit kind of frustrating.
It wasn't
So he has to sing as someone else and in a different
It wasn't
accent.
horrible, but it wasn't great.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, we have to maintain the illusion that this character that's a character of the game also is me, like when I'm singing it. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit different to have someone telling you exactly how to enunciate things, because I'm not used to, usually people are just like give me a thumbs up, and then like you think to things like the rhythm, and you think
I didn't
pitch
expect to
and think
find
of all these
this,
things, but then someone
like,
comes in and like,
I didn't expect this to
well,
be
it
in
sounds
here, and I
weird.
didn't
Yeah,
expect to
no,
find this so
it's how I
interesting.
sing,
I'm like
but
learning a bunch of
it's-
shit that I
it's been a
didn't
very,
expect right now.
yeah,
Neat.
painful. At
Cool.
times. But it's all right.
I've had that when I've done voice acting before. They told me to change a certain word because it doesn't sound right in my accent, and they wrote it for an American, but they don't want me to sound Australian. Cool.
It's a very interesting thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs and if people are excited, then that's going to be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times trying to get this right, trying to get it to sound like, like Samurai would sound, So it's quite interesting. It's a very
I feel like,
different
yeah, as
way
someone
of,
who's not a gamer, this must be weird as hell.
of making music, actually.
You can already find 3 Samurai tracks available on streaming services: Chippin' In, Never Fade Away, and The Ballad of Buck Ravers. But we're excited to
haven't heard 'em.
announce
I'll
a
check 'em out.
4th new song called A Like Supreme, which is coming to streaming services today. That means you can check it out once the show is over.
Cool.
Don't forget that if you're tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
Discombi weapons. I'm interested to see more than this, more about this, because I didn't expect the, like I said, sniper rifle that shoots through walls, so I don't know the limits of this stuff. Like, they could get real crazy. Ugh. Whole game's rendered in real time too.
Hey V, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal. He needs protection. It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers on Maelstrom. Alas,
This is V's
nothing
apartment.
ever transpires
That's
as
where
planned.
there was a crafting bench in
You
there
better
when I
gear
played
up for
this. But crafting was disabled for the demo, so I still don't know how it works. Which is a bummer. Pierces concrete, I guess. Cool. Oh, I like that. I think that that's the shotgun that I used, actually. It felt like I was shooting a taser. That looks good. Smart weapons? Oh, you're gonna get like perfect dark type stuff here? They look ridiculous. Oh yeah, okay. Cool. We've seen that, I think, in one of the gameplay demos. Nice. I wish I could have tried one of my melee weapons. I didn't even try the hand-to-hand combat. I have no idea how it feels, aside from takedowns. I did do a bunch of takedowns. Mantis Blades, I did see them in a stall. Cool. You get that put in your arm? I wonder how that works gameplay-wise, like if you just swap between that stuff.
Are you willing?
I wonder if you can have
Yeah,
rocket
I'm
arms
in.
and mantis blades. I would like all of the above.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me. Now, there was an awful lot in that video, right? Because it's more than just guns.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours about this stuff.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have 3 distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary
There's a
weapons.
barcode on it.
One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall.
So cool.
Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there.
So I guess
Smart
that's the sniper
weapons
rifle I
use
have.
Guided missile
Did I say
technology
sniper
to
rifle?
actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
I feel like it's going to be hard to choose.
Doesn't just contain
I always have a
FPS
favorite
elements,
weapon
right?
in
It's
virtually
also
every
a
game, but
fully-fledged RPG. So can you tell us
What am I gonna
how
do here?
you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those 2 elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses.
God,
so
this
they
look
will
good.
see that reload times become shorter.
So good.
The accuracy of your weapons grows. You will have faster aiming.
You can aim better
time,
too,
you will
yeah.
Move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes
if
more
you
in
just
your
start
control,
using a
and
weapon,
that gives
you might not
more
necessarily be able to aim with it
opportunities
as
to
well as you
defeat
will
the
once you
biggest
use it more
encounters that
and
we've
level up.
designed for you.
You're supposed to feel
So
like
I
a
have
newbie to
prepared
a
a
weapon
few
you've not used
extra
before.
questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for?
I found the sniper rifle by
So
doing
I
a side
expect
quest
players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons.
where I took
You can,
down
of
what's called a
course,
cyber
buy
psycho,
weapons at vendor
which is like
shops, and they will
a
house
random
an entire
mini
catalog
boss.
of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons
Not
that
that
you can
random, but
find will be
wasn't
taken
part of the
from
story.
enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as
People
they
making
go with
walkthroughs for
rarity,
this
they
are gonna have
actually
a
climb in power.
job cut out for
However,
them.
Legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no
that.
other
It's so
weapons
good.
in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modifications.
That's cool. I like that.
What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
I don't know anything about
So
this.
we have 2 types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now, these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds,
Cool.
biochemical rounds to
Wow.
tear through that armor even faster.
My favorite thing about this game so far is that for everything you know about it, I still feel like I don't know shit. Like I just don't know what's gonna happen.
So far in Night City.
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one. But I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls.
It might have been
so
the one
it
that
can
I used.
actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now, that thing is cast from pure steel. And
I
it
like that
weighs
they all
a
have cool
ton.
names.
However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kang Tao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels,
Jesus.
and that means
Jesus
it can crack
Christ.
8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel,
It looks so
thank you
ridiculous.
so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves.
Yeah, it should be fun,
End
actually,
episode
genuinely.
2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick up the world of Cyberpunk.
I should probably do that. I should probably
This
get
is a
that.
brand new book created in collaboration with Dark Horse Books that will give you an extensive look at what makes Night City tick before jumping into the game this November. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Just soon, huh? Alright, well, I guess that's that. Oh, sorry. There you go, just November 19th again. Super into it. I remain very excited about the game. Stop advertising me, because for this game it is going to work. You have to stop. It's not fair. There's still, like, some time left, though, so I'm curious about what the rest of this time is. You seeing it? Why is there time left? It's nothing. Okay. What? No. Okay. That's just because IGN captured it. That's what I'm watching. Yeah, I feel like there's not a ton of that I actually can touch on. It looks dope, but this is really just my very genuine reaction. Sorry if I spoke too much or too little. People are very picky about reaction videos. I don't know. For anything that I have touched on that I can speak about. Again, as always, let me know if you have any questions about Cyberpunk. I will do my best to answer anything that I can. And that's it for me today, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!